The plan was simple. At least, that's what I told myself as I stood before the alien artifact in the grand chamber of the Zorathian Empire. I had spent years infiltrating their ranks, learning their language, studying their rituals. For me, the heist of a lifetime had arrived. The Zorathians were a technologically advanced species, their empire spanning hundreds of worlds, each more bizarre than the last. And at the heart of this vast empire was their queen's crown, a symbol of supreme power, a piece of their history, and a priceless artifact. The crown was said to grant its wearer control over the minds of the Zorathian people, and with it, she ruled with absolute authority. But power like that was never meant to remain in the hands of one species. I had no grand moral reasons for wanting the crown. I wanted it for the same reason anyone steals something valuable. For the thrill, the reward, and the chaos that would come with it. In the flickering shadows of the chamber, I heard the quiet hum of the security system as I approached the pedestal. The crown was encased in a glowing field of energy, a barrier that only the most advanced technology could breach. But I had anticipated this. I pulled out the sleek device from my bag, a compact high-tech tool designed to bypass energy fields. With a swift motion, I activated it, and the barrier flickered out of existence. There it was, the Zorathian Queen's crown. It shimmered with an iridescent glow, made of a metal unknown to human science, and set with gemstones that pulsed with a soft, hypnotic light. I reached out, hesitated for a moment, and then grasped it. In that instant the world seemed to shift. A pulse of raw energy shot through me, as though the crown had recognized its theft and was reacting to the change in its ownership. My heart pounded, but I held on, not wanting to appear weak. The crown was mine. I turned to leave, but as I did, the room seemed to grow colder, the air thicker. A voice echoed in my mind, sharp, imperious, and impossibly deep. "You have made a grave mistake, thief." Froze. The voice was not external. It was inside my head. And then I saw her. Middle. She appeared in front of me, a towering figure wrapped in a flowing cloak made of iridescent scales. Her eyes glowed with the color of the stars, her skin a pale shade of silver, and her hair was a wild tangle of electric blue tendrils. It was the Zorathian queen herself, but something was different about her. She was not quite human, not quite a being of flesh and bone. She was energy incarnate, a being of thought and matter fused together. The crown she wore seemed to shimmer and shift with her, feeding off her very presence. "You dare take what belongs to me." Her voice was a whisper and a roar all at once, ringing in my ears and vibrating through the very air. I dropped to my knees, a feeling of intense pressure surrounding me, as if the very weight of her presence was crushing me into the floor. My fingers clenched the crown tighter. I could feel the pulsing energy coursing through me, through my very blood, and I realized that taking this crown had been a foolish, reckless act. But I wasn't about to go down without a fight. Who are you?" I asked, my voice trembling. "I am Zoria, the first of the Zorathian Empire. The crown you have stolen is mine by birthright. And you, mortal, are now my property." A chill ran down my spine. I had read about the Zorathian queens, how they were more than rulers, how they were bound to the crown itself, each one becoming part of it over time, until their consciousness merged with the crown's ancient power. But this was something else entirely. "Why are you here?" I spat, regaining some semblance of control. "You can't hurt me. I've already got the crown." Zoria tilted her head, and I could feel her amusement. "You misunderstand. The crown is not simply a possession. It is an extension of me, and you have taken something that belongs to me by right. It is not power that you have stolen, human. It is my life." I could feel it now, the energy of the crown coursing through my veins, spreading through my body, and it was as though the very essence of the queen was inside me. I could feel her thoughts, her rage, her hunger for revenge. But at the same time there was a connection, a bond that was forming between us, stronger by the second. And that bond wasn't just physical. It was psychological, emotional. I felt her wrath, but I also felt her loneliness, her isolation. For centuries she had ruled over the Zorathian people, but in the end she was just an ancient being in a crown, alone in her power. "You cannot hold me," Zoria said, her voice growing more menacing. "You will burn with it. You will die with it." I wasn't sure how long I could hold on. Every moment the crown was on me, I felt more of her presence invading my thoughts. But there was no turning back now. I had made my choice. Ending. The struggle was far more intense than I could have imagined. As Zoria's influence over the crown grew stronger, my body began to deteriorate. I could feel the crown's energy writhing inside me, a wild, uncontrollable force. It burned through my skin, disintegrating my very DNA. And yet I could still hear her, Zoria, laughing in my mind, taunting me, reminding me of my mistake. "You cannot escape me," she hissed. "I will not let you go." But something inside me refused to yield. I wasn't just a thief anymore, I was something else. I was part of something ancient and powerful. The crown had bound me to Zoria's will, but it had also given me something she hadn't anticipated, the strength to fight back. I wasn't just stealing her power anymore, I was challenging it. In that moment of clarity I made a decision. I activated the device I had smuggled into the chamber, a failsafe I had designed in case things went south. It was a tool designed to sever the crown's link with its wearer. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't even guaranteed to work, but it was my only chance. With a deep breath I pressed the button. The crown pulsed violently as the energy around me flared to life. Zoria screamed in my mind, a sound that shattered every fiber of my being. For a split second I thought I might die. But then the crown's grip loosened. The room fell silent. I collapsed to the floor, gasping for air, my body burned and exhausted but alive. The crown lay beside me, dormant. Zoria's presence was gone, replaced by an eerie emptiness. She had been severed from me and from the crown, but I knew this wasn't the end. The queen wasn't dead, she was merely displaced, cast adrift in the void. And one day she would return. But for now I had won. I picked up the crown, feeling its cool surface, and I knew I had only one choice left, to destroy it. There could be no other option. Power like this could not be allowed to exist. But as I stood there, about to crush the artifact, I heard a whisper in the back of my mind. "You cannot destroy what is eternal." And then there was silence,